the sagas of our Indian heroes. It will light up the fire, that patriot within you. Let us hear it from Krish, Trish and Balti boy. Bharat hai hum. Bharat hai hum.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over, Krish.
That's enough, Krish. That's enough Shirshasan for today. Now you can stop.
Now you can stop.
But today's exercises are still incomplete.
And so is the story. I was dreaming only about the queen and her many battles last night.
Can you stop wasting time and start the story already?
Of course, Sanskriti, story mode on. Sir Hugh Rose surrounded Jhansi with his huge army. The British forces were raining balls of fire from their cannon. Queen Laxmi Bai and Jhalkari gave a tough fight to them, but their losses were increasing. Many of their soldiers martyred themselves and many were wounded. The morale of the remaining soldiers was also weakening. The Queen realized this and...
When these Britishers look at me, first they see me as a widow, then a woman, and then as an Indian. And they do not consider these three to be worthy of any respect. Today, these very identities will teach them a lesson. Glory to Bhavani!
Glory to Bhavani! Glory to Bhavani! Fire!
On hearing these words of the Queen, a new sense of courage arose in her army. When the British forces started to climb the walls of the fort to breach it, the Queen's army poured boiling hot oil over them and forced them to retreat. The invading British forces never even imagined that a queen in the absence of a king would be so efficient at defending her fort. Apart from this, the Queen had already made some other preparations. The battle continued for many days and nights, but the Queen was unrelenting in her resistance, causing some consternation in the British ranks.
Sir, it looks like the Queen had prepared well for this invasion for a long time. That is why no grains or vegetables have been grown in any village in the entire region. It has been 5 days already. Our soldiers can't continue to fight like this on an empty stomach.
And I can't accept being defeated by Indian, especially a woman.
The Queen was tense with the prolonging of the battle, and Sir Hugh Rose was perplexed by the counter-attack staged by the fort's defenders. However, he was not lacking in the supply of guns or the ammunition for them. It was starting to seem that the Queen would not be able to hold the fort much longer. And just then, Tatya Tope struck the forces of Sir Hugh Rose in a flanking attack.
This Tatya Tope always turns up to frustrate us in our battles. Reports state that more reinforcement are needed to deploy our troops. So half of you pursue Tatya Tope. Rest here and start destroying ramparts of the forts. Just one. A small gap in the fort's wall is what we need.
And then it will be impossible for you and Damodar to escape, my queen. You and him should mount Badal and leave this place along with a few battalions. I very acutely resemble you, so I should be able to divert them for some time.
I can't do anything like that. I will not abandon my people to their fates and leave.
Remember the stories of Chhatrapati Shivaji, my queen. Sometimes it is necessary to lose smaller battle to achieve much larger victory in the war.
Yes, my queen. You must leave with the prince towards Kalpi. Till then, we will manage the battle.
Finally, the British cannons were successful in breaching the walls of the Jhansi fort.
There's the Queen! Catch her! Sir, we've captured the Queen.
So, finally I get to see you defeated.
She? She is not Rani Laxmi Bai.
Who is she then?
Jhalkari, the queen's shadow.
Where is Laxmi Bai?
In the hearts of all her subjects, in the idol of Swaraj, in every grain of our motherland's soil.
And that's how Jhalkari laid down her life for her queen. The queen, tying the young crown prince Damodar on her back, had already left the fort for Kalpi. Each sound of the artillery's guns blast tore into the queen's heart. But her retreat to Kalpi was necessary and on her path of escape.
This looks to be a large British camp. We must take another route, my queen.
Taking another route to Kalpi will make the journey longer.
Then how do we tread across them?
Well, we can't defeat them, but we can definitely distract them. Now here's the plan. Listen.
Hey, you. Who are you? And where are you going at this hour?
Haven't you received the new orders from Sir Hugh Rose?
What orders?
Sir Hugh Rose has been stuck in Jhansi for the last 1 week. The Queen and Tatya Tope have surrounded us from both sides. Our soldiers there are starving and you are here angrily questioning me. We have to visit 2-3 other stations, gather food provisions and return back. And you doubt us? All right then. We will wait till the order officially reaches here. However, if Sir Hugh Rose inquires on our late return, then your name will be the first to be reported. What happens next is something you should better know than us.
On hearing the name of Hugh Rose, the British guards let the Queen and her troops pass. The Queen's trick worked. They collected food and some weapons from the British camp and left.
Wow, my queen, that was an awesome plan. Not only did we pass through the middle of a British camp, but also took away their guns from them. And none of them even got a hint of it.
All that is fine, Krish, but how did the Queen hide the little Crown Prince Damodar?
Good question. Shall I tell? The Queen tied Damodar to the back of the horse.
Oh wow, brilliant idea.
And she stayed between him and her companions so that the Crown Prince would not be seen.
You cheat!
The Queen turned behind and saw that it was the same British guard who had reached there with his companions. A fierce battle ensued, in which the Queen's soldiers were killed. To save Damodar, the Queen now had no other option but to escape from there.
Badal! That was great! Now let's fly!
Badal literally flew the Queen and her adopted son to reach Kalpi safely. But soon after reaching there, Badal...
Huh? What happened to Badal?
Badal succumbed to his injuries.
Badal, your sacrifice will never be forgotten, my friend.
In what had by then become the first war of independence, the armies of Jhansi, along with those of Delhi, Meerut and Bithur, had faced defeat. The Queen now met more kings and revolutionaries, including Tatya Tope.
There's difference between being defeated and accepting it. I will retake my kingdom of Jhansi, and for that I will seek the assistance of the King of Gwalior.
But the king is aiding the British's war efforts.
However, the king's subjects will surely come to our aid.
Rani Laxmi Bai reached Gwalior with Tatya Tope.
Glory to Rani Laxmi Bai! Glory to Rani Laxmi Bai! Glory to Rani Laxmi Bai!
When she went to the palace, the king was sleeping peacefully. The Queen's sword woke him up from his sleep.
It is the nature of a traitor to sleep when the whole country is awake and aroused. And a traitor like you has no place in my motherland.
The frightened king fled. The Queen's words turned out to be true. The people of Gwalior supported the Queen.
Glory to Rani Laxmi Bai! Glory to Rani Laxmi Bai!
And it stunned Hugh Rose.
Rani Laxmi Bai, Rani Laxmi Bai! If I hear this name once again, then I will cut the tongue of the person who utters it! Prepare for an invasion of Gwalior!
Jai Bhavani!
Jai Bhavani!
And then there was a fierce battle. The Queen fought bravely. She attacked Hugh Rose in such a way that he had to flee from the battle. The Queen pursued him. Hugh Rose was running ahead of the Queen and Hugh Rose's soldiers were behind the Queen. While running, Hugh Rose reached a ravine. His horse jumped and crossed the ditch. But the Queen's horse could not muster the courage and he stopped. If only the Queen's horse Badal had lived, then the Queen might have saved herself that day. He was adept at jumping over such ravines. However, unfortunately, he wasn't there that day. And the Queen was quickly surrounded by British soldiers who were following her. Even then, she did not surrender her weapons to the attacking Britishers. She fought with hard masculinity. She was the Queen of Jhansi. After all, how much could a lone queen fight when confronted with so many British soldiers? She martyred herself while fighting. Even then, she did not surrender her weapons to the attacking Britishers.
Rani Laxmi Bai was so brave and cool.
Most people think that heroes in stories are something completely different, but it's not so. They are as plain as any of us who, for the sake of truth and justice, passed through some very difficult situations. They warred against the Britishers, fought battles, were victorious and lost, but never conceded to the defeat in their hearts and continued fighting till they achieved martyrdom. That is why we still listen to their tales of bravery.
Today, whenever someone talks about valor and courage, they always remember the deeds of Rani Laxmi Bai. Many consider visiting her memorial monument at Gwalior and the Jhansi fort as an act of pilgrimage.
Say it proudly!
Hey guys! If you enjoyed listening to this story a lot, then you will definitely have more fun watching it.
Watch Krish Trish Balti Boy Bharat Hai Hum every Sunday at 11 a.m. on Doordarshan.
And our streaming partners are Amazon Prime Video and Netflix. Stay tuned.